Welcome to the lightest show, where it's so light even astronauts are losing their shit. I'm...
Al,
What the hell are you doing here?
I need to talk to you, just for a moment.
What happened to your voice?
Natty Light sucker punched me in the throat.
I got bit by a mosquito last week.
Alright, well be quick, we got a show to do.
I'm afraid I have to make another fantasy confession.
Fantasy confessions.
The reason I never told you about my first season in fantasy was because I went 1-13 that year. I drafted Peyton Manning. He was supposed to be back by week 3, but then he had surgery, and Jamal Charles tore his ACL, and there was just no way to save the season. I scavenged the waiver wire every week, but it was hopeless. A good group of guys, we just couldn't get it together.
I have to get out of here.
I kept planning to tell you after I got that first win, but it was just too late. And then the next season, my team went on to win the championship, and you were so proud of me. I guess I just never wanted you to see me for what I really am. A failure.
You're no failure. You've always been a champion. Even at 1-13.
How do you mean?
You were a champion.
Of my heart. Wait, hold on. Sounds like someone's being a pussy. I almost didn't make that one.
Well, sit your ass down before it floats away. We're keeping it light in this bitch.
I'm Mike, he's Al, and here's everything going on in the Keep It Light League, Week 7.
There was a showdown between siblings, a team trying to get its first win, and also a team trying to remain undefeated.
But most of you just wanted to talk about Haefner.
Whatever. More on that later, but first. Going into Monday night's Vikings-Giants game, the best team needed only 16 points from Adrian Peterson and Greg Jennings to defeat the Angels Farting Angels. However, what they got was 14 points and this week's lead apron of shame. Angels Farting Angels wins 86-85 in the lowest scoring contest of the season.
I would just like to thank Michaela for taking the bullet for me this week. She saw that my team was going down in flames and found it in her to spare me the humiliation of my first lead apron. Who could ask for a better sister?
The best team's Michaela Pasenik said, "I can't believe it, but at least I'm still Mom's favorite."
Mom's favorite loser. Next up, Trayvon Martin's Adrian Peterson tied Allosaurus' Blair Walsh for least points in this match with 1 point each. Unfortunately for Trayvon, Allosaurus had Jamal Charles and AJ Green to make up the difference. Allosaurus easily wins 119-97.
And continues to be one of the straightest teams in the league.
I don't see how that matters. In our next matchup, Tony Gonzalez, Maurice Jones-Drew, and the Ravens defense were working towards another impressive Reptiles Unanimous loss, until Vincent Jackson was like, fuck that. With 138 yards and 2 touchdowns on 10 receptions, Vincent Jackson threw Reptiles Unanimous on his back and led them to their first Light League victory over Caught Red Hernandez. Final score, 105-100. Reptiles Unanimous owner Dave Viscomi had this to say: "This win is for all the haters that said I could never do it. It was the little bit of Justin Hape inside of me that put me over the top."
And in the true spirit of football, Haefner won't pay a dime in child support.
In a show of good sportsmanship, Mike Ehrenfried of Caught Red Hernandez said, "I just want to welcome Mr. Viscomi to the 1-6 club. I know it took a while, but congrats, man. And for next week, Haef, you suck." It is now official. No team in the Keep It Light League will go winless this year.
Now on to a team with the opposite problem. For a while, it looked like Cadillac Culp Seville was going to face their first loss of the season this week, until Reggie Wayne of the Accidental Rapists tore his ACL. Down by 19 with only Kyle Rudolph to play, the Accidental Rapists still had a shot. However, Kirsten Repko's Minnesota Vikings let her down once again, as Cadillac Culp Seville won the day 119-105. Kirsten had this to say after the match: "Justin Haefner's already stolen all the raping from me. Sad face."
That's quite a reputation you're building, Haef.
And speaking of Haef, Foots and Coffin that faced off against I Fly Lighter Than O2 this week. In a show of real coaching savvy, Haefner played Atlanta's Harry Douglas in the flex position for a cool 27 points. Foots and Coffin that wins 132-115. I Fly Lighter Than O2's Kevin Teal said, "I kept it too light. Everything else is awaiting the test results."
Starting to get a little reckless now, Haef.
And for the third time this season, Haefner is a recipient of the Feather Cap. And like any father in the midst of a paternity war, Justin Haefner was short-spoken this week. His only response when reached for comment, "No."
Buddy, you gotta get your shit together. This is ridiculous.
Well, since Haefner basically stole the fire from our reunited host theme, let's just keep it on going as we take a look at the divisions.
In the abortionist murder division, Haefner is 2 spots out of first, sitting 3 games behind Cadillac Culp Seville.
And in the women's right to choose division, Haefner doesn't have a team, so why even speak of it? Well, that will do it for us today. Remember to tune in next week,
when Al and I will be discussing Week 8. Oh, that's right. Al and I are back together hosting again.
Oh, I almost forgot.
See you next week, and remember to keep it Haefner.
There is a light that shines special for you and me.
Yeah, second. It's important we communicating. Tune the fate of this union to the right pitch.